Hey, it's Tuesday, and today is our day at sea. I woke up really late today. I was wondering why my husband let me sleep so late, but it was like 11, and I never sleep that long. We stayed up late, but, you know, only like 12:30. I guess I just really needed the rest. So, anyway, the plan for today is a lot of relaxing. We don't stop anywhere. We don't have any, any places to dock the boat, and our friends have a bunch of stuff that they texted us with this morning and said, you want to do this stuff with us? So I think we're going to go to a bingo game thing, and there's also a little seminar kind of thing to give us some background and history on the Hermitage, which is a museum we're going to see when we get to Russia in a few days. And so we're going to go to that, and so there's a bunch of different things we're planning to do for the day. It's been kind of fun. We have met, there's one particular guy who has been our waiter on the back deck by the pool outside, and we met him on the very first day of the trip. His name is Avelino. He's from India, and he, from the very first day we met him, he was like, you need to come back here, you need to come back to my area. And so we've been back there a few times. We saw him this morning. Are you coming back? Come over here for lunch. We have really good grilled stuff out here on the back patio. Don't eat at the buffet. Come here. So that's been kind of fun. And then it seems like everyone on the ship knows my husband's name. Show what you just did, honey. Yes. So they do. They just, not that John is a really difficult name to remember, but a lot of people have the name John. And so it's just kind of funny that everywhere we go, that people are remembering his name and shaking his hand and stuff. So it is kind of a fun little social environment that you find on these boats. And people have been on the boats working for so long that I think they like to have some little friendships that they build with the passengers. And so that's been a lot of fun. I don't know how much I'm going to film today, but of course if there's anything wonderful and exciting, I will film it for you. It seems like there was something else a tip that I was going to give you guys about something. Oh, one thing I did want to say is I watched a video. I'll probably have to do a video that's just just plain room tour of this room, but I watched a video of a guy reviewing the rooms on this particular boat, one of the rooms that's just a couple down from where we are, and he went into detail about how dirty and worn down the boat was, and that is not our experience. I mean, it's a small room, but the bathrooms are clean. There's nothing that looks like there's fingerprints or stuff that, areas that are worn down. Are you seeing anything like that, John? Yeah, I think it's a really nice and clean boat. Everything on it, nothing seems outdated really. Maybe they dry docked it and took some time to do some stuff to the boat, but it's really nice. The one boat that we have been on Carnival that seemed old to us was the Carnival Glory, and it was an old boat. But this one doesn't seem to be old. It doesn't have that kind of a feeling, although it's not a new boat either, but they've been keeping up with it really nicely. We're up in the beer garden right now, and it sort of overlooks all the stuff that's going on. Behind me, there's a whole part of the ship that is for adults only. A lot of places to get lounge chairs and stuff. This part we're looking at here, of course, is not adults only. And in just a couple of minutes, we're heading over to the Aqua Room, where they're going to be doing a presentation on the Hermitage.
It's good to spend at least 1 minute to enjoy the view from the Hermitage outside, which is really interesting, okay? So take the time to do so. This particular palace or palaces today, the Hermitage has over 1,000 rooms, okay? Not all of them will be visited. Almost 1,800 doors and just under 2,000 windows. So it's a pretty big location for you to visit. And most of you, as you know, may have already...
Okay, so we're done with that. We're hanging out. Our friends are checking out some information on an excursion they're doing, and then we're going to be going in an hour over to there we go. They were wanting to bomb. They've been talking about bombing my videos all the time. Anyway, we're going over to a martini tasting. Where's that? I don't know. We got to check it out. See, these are our friends. Here comes John. This is our whole group here, crazy group. And so yeah, we're gonna have some martinis, and maybe in the next clip, I'll be talking funny. All right, so I can't really show you the whole picture because the bed is in the way, but this is the second night on the boat. It is our first night at sea, and it's dress-up night. So we're going to the Moderno restaurant, which has, you know, kind of a lot of meat. It's going to be bizarre since I haven't had a lot of meat since I've, you know, stopped my nutrition study. Let me show you my skirt. Okay, dress is a knit dress, literally from Target, tied in at the waist. Has a deep V-neck that I put in this little cami thing that's like fits around my bra strap, and then a necklace. I've got some silver earrings on that kind of match my necklace, and let me sit down. You can see, totally long. These are some wedges. They're sort of flip-floppy wedges, but they you know, are like dress shoes, comfy. And what's great about these, they're from a company called, well, Leslie Phillips is the name of the company. These are switch flops, which means you can take the, see? You can take the strap, unvelcro it, put in a different color, different kind, and then put this on back. So I have a couple of others with several straps that I brought with me. So that is the outfit for the night. Totally casual, but dressed up enough that, you know, as I go around to different places tonight, people will think I'm dressed up, and that's the way it is on a casual cruise line. Okay, you guys, I showed you how they did a towel animal the other night. Tonight, it's a teeny weeny little animal. Look at how small it is. It's a little mouse. I have never, on the 3 boats we've been on, never seen anything as tiny and cute as this. I love it. Good morning. We are getting ready to get off the boat this morning to go on our day visit to Estonia. I'm really excited to see this area. You can see another cruise ship out the window here, but we were able to get a different angle looking into town, and it was just so charming looking and cute. Apparently, well, Estonia was part of the Soviet Union, and they broke off from the Soviet Union, and a lot of their buildings and things like that have been preserved because they were never a country or area that was ever attacked. And so a lot of things are, you know, the old stuff, the historic stuff, those things are still there and intact. So it's supposed to be one of the most charming places to be. People who I've talked to and stuff I've read in books say that as far as a tourist destination, it's one of the best, and that, you know, just super enjoyable. So it's almost 10 o'clock, and our friends are going to meet us. We're going to head off the ship, and then we have to be back on the ship by 5. Quite honestly, though, we probably will be back on the ship before that, depending. So anyway, here we go. So this is what we're seeing as we're heading toward the town, the old town part of Estonia. To the right, that's called the Fat Margaret Tower, and then that spire thing, I'm not sure what that's called, but we'll be heading that way. Okay, so here's up close of what is called the Fat Margaret Tower. It's called that because its walls are super thick. Let me see if you can kind of see that, if I can get up close. You see that? Right there. I don't know if you can get the picture of how thick the walls are, but they look like they're about 5 feet thick, don't they? Yeah. So, and there's where these people are down here, there's an arched walkway that they just went through, and this used to be what would stand as the guard tower for the city. Oops. We're now inside of St. Olaf's Church, that big spire thing that we saw. It's not nearly as ornate as the St. Mary's Church that we saw in Rostock the other day. And it is an actual place where they hold services. And what's kind of interesting is the fact that they have speakers, and then on the other side of these columns here are TV monitors so people can see. So it's definitely a very old building that's gone high tech. So you can see right here, this is one of the monitors. It's filming these people right over there. I think this just looks so cool with all these different buildings. Apparently this building right here was the former headquarters of the KGB. And according to my travel book, it says that they were known for putting prisoners here and using creative interrogation methods. And so apparently everybody in town knew it was a place of suffering. So how weird is this? We're in the old town of Estonia, and there is a Texas honky-tonk cantina right here. They have enchiladas on their menu, as my husband's pointing out. Very interesting. This right here is a building called the Brotherhood of the Blackheads, and apparently, I don't have any idea why they got that name, but young men, single young men, would be here, and they were not allowed to have any place in the economy until they were married, and then once they were, they became part of this different group. So these guys would fight fires and different things like that, and they would send them out for things like dangerous things, because if they died, they didn't have family, and they figured it was better than somebody who was a family man dying. So right now we're inside the Estonian History Museum, Estonian History Museum, the Great Guild Hall, and we're in the basement part right now. We saw a movie that was telling about 11,000 years of Estonian history. And I think about how we only have a few hundred years of history for people, especially of European descent in our country. It's pretty wild. Just all kinds of weapons in here. This thing right here is sort of a raincoat, I guess, that they used to wear. It's big and baggy, so they could put it over the top of all their warm clothes. And it's made of strips of animal gut. Seal? Seal's gut. Seal's gut. There you go. Take an awful lot of seals, wouldn't it, to make that?
Yeah, and then the seams are strips of animal gut.
So this is the town hall square. Looks like we have a storm that's going to head in here pretty soon. And then we just noticed this interesting little building way down this alley here. We want to know what that is. Maybe we'll find out. Quaint little town. Cobblestone streets everywhere. And then we're going to go right over there to see that Russian Orthodox Church. Look right here, that building has a wall on either side of it, and that was kind of the wall that protected the city, that went around the city. It's in amazingly good shape. And then there's that Orthodox Church. Another church. This This might be St. Nicholas Church. I don't know. I saw a bunch of them. I'm not sure, but that sure is a cool looking building. Here's the other side of that building we saw from a distance. I don't know what it is exactly. There's a sign that says no visitors, so we can't go in. And the sign that's out here doesn't have any English on it. So who knows, but it's kind of cool.
There's one there, and 2, 3.
So this is, we're at a viewpoint. I can't pronounce the word that is the name of this place, viewpoint, but you can see way out there in the distance is the ocean. Way out there. This town actually though is quite big. It wouldn't be called a town. I think my husband read that there's 400,000 people who live here.
40% of all of Estonia lives in this town, city.
In Tallinn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised at how little air pollution there is.
Yeah, they're really, especially given all these smokestacks everywhere that we can see.
I don't think they're operational, but
Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? And this building right here is the building of Estonian Parliament. It currently is the building for Estonian Parliament. Alright, this is just a kiosk we found that has a kind of a map of this part of the city, anyway, this portion, which is kind of cool. That's the Orthodox Church. We were just inside.
Yeah, so the Russians built their church and then that facade.
That's funny.
We're like,
This is the other side of the kiosk we were just looking at. It shows the front. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but this is the original castle. And then the Russians came and they built this part on there that is across the street from the Orthodox Church. Here's another shot of that, the wall of the city, which you can see. I mean, there's another piece of it, right? Got an unhappy child over there. Another piece of the wall.
I'm gonna go down there.
Right here. And then that connects up over to this big tower. And more of the wall, and more tower. And the wall just keeps going.
the U.S. government.
It's so strange to think about a time in history when you had to have a huge wall around your city so people wouldn't attack you. In the travel book I have, the guy mentions that you need to wear sturdy shoes when you're going around Tallinn because they have just these old cobblestone streets that give you a pretty decent foot massage. And he's not kidding. And this is the other side of that wall. It's cool. I'm glad we came down here to see this.
Doesn't mean there's people to serve them, though.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Well, we can always go up and find out. We're having a debate now because there's a cafe. We just realized that's up on the top of this medieval wall. We were trying to decide, should we eat lunch with a whole crowded place of tourists, or should we eat on top of a medieval wall? And I think the wall is the thing. So let's go. All right, so we thought we were going to go to that, well, we did go up to the top of the medieval wall, where we thought it would be cool to have a snack, but it was like this little bakery case, and then you just bought your stuff and you sat down, and there was hardly any food, and it was too crowded, and so we came back down. It was kind of treacherous too, really steep steps. So now we're here on this street, which is cute and quaint, and the name of the restaurant is what?
The Golden Pig.
The Golden Pig, essentially. I can't read it in Estonian. And so we're just going to have some yummy stuff, and that's what we're going to do. So we're heading back down to the market area in the town hall square. We just had a few appetizers to snack on and some beer, which was all really, really good.
Explain the one that we'd never have had to do before with the toast.
Yeah, there was one. It was it looked like a dark rye.
Yeah.
And then you take a little clove of garlic and just kind of scrape it over the top of the bread, and the bread's toasted, so the garlic comes off pretty easily, and then you dip it in this, I don't know, creamy kind of a sauce. Sort of looked like mayonnaise, but it wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, so that was it. That was really good. We also had fried cheese balls with some kind of a dip, and then there was another thing called a witch's casserole that we shared that had, they called it smashed potatoes and cheese and mushrooms.
Bacon.
Bacon?
I think so.
Oh, well. Anyway, that seemed like it would have been good on bread if they'd served it with bread. Do you know what I mean? Don't you think? But anyway, all of it was really good. Now you can see here we're at this big market. This book was so great. I featured it in one of my travel series videos. Planning out your trip using a travel guide, and mine is by Rick Steves, and this book is Northern European Cruise Northern European Cruise Ports, and it features a bunch of different ports. I think there's 13 of them in here and all. And so we have partially used the one from Copenhagen, but we're spending another day there on the way back, so we'll use it more. We did use it for when we went to Germany, and we were going around Rostock as well as Warnemund, and it helped us to know where to catch a train and how much to expect to pay and all of that. Today we were in Tallinn, Estonia, and he had a walking tour, and he said start at such and such tower and then begin the walking tour, and we did that. It said it takes about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and I would say that is about right. We stopped some places a little longer, and we even had something to eat. But this was the best book, and just to carry it around with us all day and know exactly what we were looking for and what we were looking at was just wonderful. We could read little bits of historical background on things we were seeing. And so there are probably lots of good travel guides out there that you can get, but this one here, Rick Steves' Northern European Cruise Ports, and Rick Steves has travel guides for all different locations. I highly recommend them, and it's just so helpful because he tells how you can get around by taxi, by bus, by train, or on foot, and it just has made our trip so much easier up to this point. And so tomorrow we spend our first of 2 days in Russia, and then we probably won't use this book very much because we're on excursions, and then we'll definitely use it again when we're in Finland and Sweden. So today is the actual day of my anniversary with John, and he got me this beautiful necklace I want to show you. This is, hold this up here for you. That's a piece of amber. A lot of amber is fake, but this is authentic. He got it. He actually bought it from one of the shops on the ship, and this part of the country, this part of the world is known for amber, and if you aren't familiar with amber, amber is actually fossilized tree sap. Amazing, isn't it? So anyway, I love this necklace. I think it's so pretty, and he's really thoughtful to get that for me.